R. Kelly's trial so far has been filled with gossip and hearsay about his sex life. That's it. Gossip and hearsay about his sex life. No proof of racketeering so far. Every woman is getting on the stand saying the same thing. I gave him a fake ID. I lied about my age. I stayed for 5 years, for 6 years. I flew out to see R. Kelly and I sucked his dick for 2 hours. I sucked his dick for 2 hours and I was so uncomfortable, but I flew back out to see him again. And I was uncomfortable having sex with him again. And every time I had sex with him, I was uncomfortable, but I kept flying out because I was groomed. I'm a victim. I kept flying out to go see R. Kelly, but I'm a victim. He's such a monster. He's such a bad person. He took advantage of me. I was only 19. That was basically Faith on the stand yesterday. Faith Rogers, a.k.a. Jane Doe number 6, getting on the stand saying that she flew out repeatedly to see R. Kelly, and each time she did not want to have sex with him, but she flew back out to see him and continue to have sexual contact with him even though she wasn't comfortable. Does that make sense? If the man is such a monster, why are all these chicks going out of their way to be around him multiple times? If they were uncomfortable the first time, especially somebody like Faith, because she didn't live with him. Faith was in Texas flying out to Chicago and New York to go see R. Kelly. So at the end of the day, if she was so uncomfortable, she could have chosen not to get on the plane to go see him. She could have said, you know what? I didn't like our last sexual encounter, so I'm not coming back out to see you again. She could have done that at any time, but she didn't. You know why? Because she wanted to be around a celebrity of R. Kelly's status, and she wanted to fucking suck. I don't know why she just wouldn't admit it. I have more respect for somebody who came out and said, you know what, I wanted to fucking suck on a celebrity. R. Kelly is a legend. I wanted to be able to say I fucked R. Kelly. I can have some respect for you instead of you coming back and saying, oh my God, I was so uncomfortable. I sucked the dick for 2 hours and oh my God, I was so uncomfortable and I kept flying back and forth. And oh my God. It's ridiculous. And then Kanik also brought out in court that Faith told the police that she had herpes since 2013. That's in the documents. So if Faith had herpes since 2013 and she met R. Kelly in 2017, that means she had it before R. Kelly, just like her friend said. Remember her friend said 2 years ago that Faith Ben had herpes and she didn't catch it from R. Kelly? So I think not guilty on Faith. Not guilty on Jane Doe number 6. Not guilty on Jane Doe number 6, y'all. Not guilty on Man Act for Jane Doe number 6 because she admitted that she flew out to go see him. So how did he take her across state lines? If she is flying out to go see him to suck dick, how did he take her across state lines? This whole trial is ridiculous. It's a waste of taxpayers' money. Nobody is a victim. R. Kelly never had a victim his whole life. All of these chicks chose to be there. He didn't put guns to their heads and drag them off in the middle of the night and force them to do a goddamn thing. They all willingly participated in whatever he wanted to do, and they enjoyed it. They enjoyed S&M. They enjoyed being spanked. They enjoyed being told what to do by an older man. And some chicks that like that shit. Some chicks like to be told what to do, but I guess they're ashamed now to be said, "Ooh, I like being spanked. I like being, slapped around." It was S&M. It wasn't abuse. It was S&M. But anyway, Faith was terrible, and of course, thank God Kanik had that document where she said that she had herpes since 2013. So that would be given to the jury, and they're going to have to acquit him on Jane Doe number 6 and all charges related to Jane Doe number 6, because she's definitely not a victim. So hooray for Kanik. But you know who's worse than Faith and all of the women who have accused R. Kelly? You know who's worse? The worst one of the bunch? Richard Arline Jr., a.k.a. John Ho number 1. John Ho number 1 took the stand on Monday, and he admitted, the only reason I'm here is because I'm facing 15 years for bribery, and I need to get my charges dropped. So I'm here to say I'm a victim of R. Kelly in order to get my charges dropped. And he also said R. Kelly never told him to bribe Azriel. He did it on his own because he was hoping that he was going to get some money out of it. And Richard Arline Jr., you a hoe ass nigga. What type of a man gets on the stand and lies about being sexually abused to get his sentence reduced? According to you, you were sexually abused in 2006, but you hung around R. Kelly till 2019, played basketball with him. You say you were at parties with him. You did all this from 2006 to 2019, and you tried to bribe Azriel for a man that sexually abused you? Are you insane? You lying ass nigga. I swear to God, Richard Arline Jr. should be shot. This a lying ass nigga right here. All to get his sentence reduced. And I'm glad the jury heard that. I'm just doing this to get my sentence reduced. I'm glad the jury heard that. Hallelujah. Richard Arline Jr., a whack ass, hoe ass nigga. How does his wife stick with him after all of this? She must feel like she can't get no other nigga if she's still sticking by him. Because I went through her Facebook posts, and she sounds like someone who has really low self-esteem. Like she think Richard Arline Jr. is so perfect, and she thank God for him, and he's this and he's that. No. Your husband is a whole ass nigga. But she'll stick by him because she feel like she can't get nobody else. But it couldn't be me. It couldn't be me. First of all, Richard Arline Jr. is not even sexy, so I wouldn't have been with him to begin with. But let's say I was married to Richard Arline Jr. and he did some fuck shit like that. Nah, I'm gone. I'm gone. You about to lie and say you were sexually abused to get out of a 15-year sentence that you put yourself in because you didn't have shit to do with none of this shit. You shouldn't have been getting on the phone with Azriel to begin with to try to offer her money that R. Kelly didn't tell you to offer her. Where the fuck was you going to get $500,000 from to give Azriel when you were saying that you were broke? You only had $2,000 in your bank account. Where the fuck were you going to get $500,000 to bribe Azriel from? So he put himself in this shit. That's why I don't get. He put himself in the middle of this shit when the shit didn't have nothing to do with him. And then when it hit the fan, all of a sudden he got to throw R. Kelly under the bus and lie and say that he was molested. R. Kelly didn't touch you, nigga. If R. Kelly wanted a down low relationship, I think he would get with another celebrity who would be able to keep the secret. He would not get with just a regular dude off the street because he know he could be thrown under the bus at any time. So if R. Kelly were bisexual, I think he would get with Tyrese or Diddy or somebody like that. I'm not saying Tyrese and Diddy are bisexual. I'm just saying that that's the type of men he would get with if he wanted to keep some on the down low. He not going to pick up no Richard Arline Jr. off the fucking street and try to get with him when he knows that man could blast him and put his business out there at any time. So that's how you know it's a fucking lie. Richard Arline Jr., I swear to God. You worse than all these women. Because you a man. And you doing this goofy shit. And I honestly believe that Richard Arline Jr. is secretly gay. And I believe that he has a crush on R. Kelly. Because before he deleted his Facebook page, the majority of his pictures was him trying to look like R. Kelly with the shades, with the beard, with the cigar in his mouth. He was trying to take pictures similar to how R. Kelly took pictures to try to look like him. I think he was infatuated R. Kelly and he secretly wanted to be with R. Kelly. And everything he said to the jury was his fantasy about how he could have sex with R. Kelly, but it never really happened because R. Kelly didn't want that nigga like that. R. Kelly wouldn't get with that goofy nigga. Oh my God. Richard Arline Jr., you whole ass nigga. And if R. Kelly was really running the enterprise, Richard Arline Jr., you would have been killed. How come all of R. Kelly's accusers are alive if he's supposed to be like John Gotti? R. Kelly's supposed to be like John Gotti, but none of these bitches are dead? And that nigga, Richard Arline Jr., ain't dead yet? He didn't send nobody to get him yet? These people are ridiculous. The more and more this trial goes on, the angrier I get that this innocent man named R. Kelly has to sit through this bullshit knowing that he's an innocent man. Imagine being innocent. You have people getting up on the stand lying and saying that you sexually abused them just to get out of a 15-year bribery charge that they put themselves in that shit. You didn't even tell that nigga to put himself in that shit. Man, if I was R. Kelly, I'd be pissed. But they say he was in good spirits. They played some of his music in court, and he was kind of tapping his fingers and he was bobbing his head. So I'm glad to hear that he's in good spirits. I'm glad to hear that he's in good spirits, and he should be. He's an innocent man. And he's too good of a man. Because let me tell you something. If any of these folks would have pulled this shit on Diddy, they would have been dead. You know how Diddy do. Diddy get rid of people so quick. Diddy get rid of you so quick and go on Instagram and dance like nothing ever fucking happened. R. Kelly like John Gotti, but all his accusers alive. This is ridiculous. Where is the racketeering? Where is the racketeering? That's what we're here for. Where is the racketeering, you federal prosecutors? Where is the racketeering that you say R. Kelly's been doing? R. Kelly made no money off of fucking with these chicks. That was his personal life. And his personal life is separate from his entertainment life. His life as an entertainer has nothing to do with his personal sex life. And it would be easier for you to prove some sort of an enterprise if he was like dragging these girls in and prostituting them to other men and making millions of dollars off of them. Then you could say he had an enterprise of himself as an entertainer and an enterprise in his personal life where he was pimping chicks. But he didn't do that. He didn't make no money off these chicks. He was extorted by them. He had to pay out settlements for some dumb shit. But he didn't make no money off of any of these chicks. He's not a pimp. He's not an enterprise. R. Kelly is not an enterprise. One man is not an enterprise. The government needs to stop telling lies. All of these people are disgusting for what they're doing to R. Kelly, man. Did I say Richard Arline Jr. should be shot earlier? Well, let me say it again. Richard Arline Jr. needs to be shot for that whole shit he did on the stand this week. What a bitch ass nigga. I swear to God, man. I swear to God, R. Kelly is too good of a person. He let all these people live after they accused him and drag his name in the mud. But I guess that's just the Christian that he is. But they'll get theirs, though. You don't get to go up there and lie on somebody and try to send somebody to jail for life and think your life is going to go well. None of these people's life is going to go well after what they did to R. Kelly. We're going to see it. We're going to see them in turmoil. We're going to see them have a lot of different things going on in their life. And they're going to wonder, well, why all this happened to me? Because you got up there and tried to make R. Kelly look bad and try to send him to jail for life. You didn't have no mercy on R. Kelly. You wanted to make him look like a monster and embarrass him in public. So when you start seeing sickness in your family, and you start seeing death in your family, and you start seeing your money not right, and all of this stuff not going right, please remember that it's because of how you did R. Kelly, and this is your karma coming back to bite you. This trial is ridiculous. No evidence of racketeering, just gossip from hoes, including the whole ass nigga named Richard Arline Jr. Anyway, free R. Kelly, free R. Kelly, free R. Kelly, and fuck anybody who don't like him.